personally, I think a Foxy Fraud nerf would be the only thing that Rogue really needs.
The Hearthstone Meta Hype is a bit of an impromptu video that we did on the VengaDragon channel live.
Hello everyone, this is Hearthstone Meta Hype. I am Ecore100 live on VengaStream. How's it going, Venga?
Oh man, it is going well. You know, Ecor comes to the channel, he's like, yo, we gotta record the Hearthstone Meta Hype, which you guys are gonna see on Wednesday night. And you know, as I always am, I'm always so excited. Generally, the card that is the focus and the ear of everybody's desire to nerf is not so much about the card itself, it's mostly about the surrounding cards. And it's like, you know, a lot of people said that the card Guardian Animals was not going to be nerfed, and that wasn't a problem. And I was like, what? That card's pretty busted at 7 mana. It went to 8, right? So, but it's also because of the two cards that they put into the deck. You know, the 5 mana, the 2 5-mana beasts that you can just pop out, and they, you know, a 4/6 with that damages 2 minions, and it's like a cleave, like a, you know, it's just rush. And we talked about the rush and what the effect of a card. So it's just kind of
about all of this already.
Yeah, it's like, so like nerfs are always a cool topic to talk about. Because they are controversial, and there's a lot of opinions and stuff like that. But we'll sum it up here by saying, with Edwin, I just want to say that Edwin is something that's in Rogue. It would be the same thing, like let's pretend that if in Warlock, let's just say that Jiraxis was actually a good card, and then you Hall of Fame Jiraxis. People would be, they'd be like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, Hall of Fame, like, it's just the core of it's very much the core of a class. And again,
I mean, they Hall of Famed Ice Block, and Ice Block was the core of Mage for a really long time. I mean, I don't think it's something that they definitely won't do. But I also kind of, although I do find Edwin annoying, like I said before, I don't think that I would want to see. I don't think I want to see him Hall of Famed or nerfed. Like, I'll say I do sometimes in the heat of a moment when I have a 16/16 Edwin played against me turn 4. I'll be like, this card needs to be Hall of Famed. He just emptied his hand and played a 16/16. Yeah. But at the same time, there's still counterplay. You can still silence him. It still requires skill and setup to play. I don't know. That's
what I'm saying. We'll go back to the thing with the Shaman. That's the reason why Rogue isn't quite as bad though as the Shaman thing, because there are counters, there are play arounds, there is a skill that you can do stuff. You know what I mean? When your opponent just randomly generates, you know, like in a game where you just saw me mess up and whatever, but you know, like these crazy cards, and you're just like, you know, you're just shocking. All right, so what's the next topic that we got? Let's move to that.
Oh no, that was it for my segment. Yeah, that was it. Just talking about the articles. We actually have already been talking for quite some time. Yeah,
we'll probably do is maybe we'll figure out a way to divvy up the content. I think we've been talking for like almost 45 minutes. Let's look at the chat and let's see what.
I don't think we've done it before.
Who knows? Who knows? It's been at least 30, because I think I saw 8:11 on my time zone. But we can check that out. Let's take a couple of viewer questions since we're doing that. And we also just wanted to give a big shout out to the person that said, are you looking at my message? The answer is yes, I am looking at your message. That's the answer. That's a good question. All right, next question. The Joker says, it's sleep with fishes. Yes, I'm aware.
Sleep with the fishies.
So listen to me, the Joker. Don't make me put a horse's head in your bed. Anyway, let's go. All right. So next up is see, he doesn't watch The Godfather. He doesn't watch The Godfather. He doesn't know the movie. The horse's head in the bed. You don't know what that is?
No, I knew the sleeping with the fishes.
So you better watch The Godfather, and you end up with a horse's head in your bed. All right. Seriously, Jonathan Fontaine will never get a spot in this movie. I know I'm showing my age and everything, guys, but we're talking about.
I should definitely watch it. It's one of the movies that I've always wanted to watch, and I've just never gotten around to it. Yeah. It actually is. It's a good movie objectively. I just haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's dark. So everyone, I'm not going to spoil the scene for you, but horse's head in your bed, Godfather.
I mean, I feel like I can guess what that scene would look like. I feel like it's pretty explanatory.
It's not nice.
Horse's head in the bed.
It's not nice. All right, so Dark Joker just states, he's like, yo, he says, I am watching both. He's got two TVs up in his joint. That's how he rolls over in his crib. You know what I mean? He's got two TVs. He's actually three TVs. He's got the VengaDragon stream up here, the Godfather over there, and he's actually put Casino on the other side, yeah, and Twitch and all kinds of stuff. He's got all kinds of crazy things. So let's see what we got. If
the other thing you were going to talk about was the Tickatus bug with Silas.
Yeah. The Tickatus bug
I know what you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah. It's actually, what happens is we're going to talk about, we're going to figure out a way to get this into two segments, one for my channel and one for Ecor. But the Tickatus bug, all right, it's very interesting, and I kind of like. So the first thing that we did was I'm like, all right, cool. I want to put in the deck Silas into my deck because it corrupts Tickatus, and it's a 7 mana card, which just is really good against cards like which it could counter Rattlegore specifically in there. It gives 2 counters. You could pull Rattlegore down or whatever, and you can then maybe even use it against the Evolved Shaman, where like they get something crazy and you could pull that one down, you know, because it's random. They have no control over what they put on their left or their right, you know. So I decided, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be clever. I got a 7 mana card that I put in the deck. So first game in, go. I got the Rattlegore combo. You know what I'm saying? He drops down the Rattlegore. I go up, boom, flip the script. The Silas goes on the top. Rattlegore comes right down the bottom. It's just a 1/1 exchange, right? Next card I go out, I play Tickatus. I'm like, I got this guy. Boom, boom, boom. I kind of look double take. I see 5 cards from off the top of my deck. I'm like, wait a minute, but what? How? Right? It didn't happen, right? I think that's bad. Now, that's one of the reasons why I put it in there, because I wanted the 7 mana corrupt, and it seemed like it was a cool card, and I replaced Siamat, right? So that's whatever. So last night on stream, I had started streaming at, it was about 8 o'clock my time, right? Mm-hmm. It was 6 a.m. in the morning, so I'd been streaming at that point, for a long time. That's 10 hours. It was a 10-hour stream last night.
For 10 hours?
10 hours and I started at 8 my time and streamed until 6 a.m. So yeah, it was 10 hours. So this is like,
continue with your story, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like the final game going down, right? And we're just like going through. So I'm like, yeah, I want to give this try, Silas again, right? Whatever. And but I had been playing a different deck, like an evolved type, not evolved, a shaman, a pain shaman is like what I like to call a Dr. Pain's Venga shaman, which is pretty painful to play, but it's really nice because it puts pressure on your opponents. You would love that deck. I actually will send you the code. That one I'm sending you the code on. You can't refuse. So, okay, I got an offer you can't refuse. So I played down Silas again, and I do the thing, and I move the Silas up onto the top. And I didn't want to leave a demon up there because it was a mirror match, but they didn't have Silas. I didn't want to leave a demon on their side, so I'd rather just put Silas up there and then kill him, because having a demon on there, maybe they could have done lifesteal or something like that. You know, that's my thinking. So whatever. So
3 mana card.
Yeah. So I managed to put him up there, and just I had enough to pop him off, and it made sense from that standpoint. Mm-hmm. Boom, next turn, all smiley face, happy 10 a.m. with 6 a.m., whatever time it was, all smiley face. I drop down Villas, I drop down Tickatus. I think I'm seeing things, 5 cards rip off the top of my deck. So it is when there's a Silas bug. But here's the thing, is I think I figured it out, why it acts this way.
Yeah.
If Silas remains on your board, then you've actually played him. Right? But if he switches up and he goes onto the top of their board, you haven't actually played him. Your opponent has played him. That's like the bug. That's maybe the reason why, because it's registering what's on your board at the end of the turn. that would then
Does the
corrupt.
opponent get credit for playing it though? Like,
Yeah, in
would
other
it
words, could you
corrupt
correct?
his
Yeah,
Tickatus?
I don't
I don't think it
know.
would corrupt his Tickatus. I feel like it definitely is a bug, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't. It comes into play, but it doesn't come into play under your control because it just flips.
Yeah. But
So yeah, I've heard of this bug. I heard about this bug yesterday. So when you said you wanted to talk about it, I was like, oh, so it's happened to him too.
Yeah.
'Cause somebody told me about it because I thought, what should I put Silas in my Tickatus deck? And someone said, no, haven't you heard about the bug? And I was like, what bug? And they explained it to me a little bit. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I kind of understand what they're saying because like it wouldn't be on your side of the board.
But here's what happens. But if you think about it, right? If you leave it on your side of the board, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is your turn doesn't. Your turn ends. I mean, like you playing him ends with him flipping up to their board. Mm-hmm. So the computer or whatever the program is doesn't recognize him as the bottom part, you know. So it's a bug for
like,
that
it
reason.
kind of makes sense in a weird way. I mean, it shouldn't work like that. And
No.
I kind of understand like what's happening and why it's not working.
you could figure out the error. Like that's how because there is the developers of Hearthstone have actually talked about how like there is a person who goes over the mechanics and has like the ordering. Like for example, like let's say that you have remember Uther when he had the lifesteal weapon, you could actually attack and go down to under zero health. And get the 5 back is because the lifesteal occurred, I think, after or before, I don't remember ordering, but they have an order of how the things work. And it goes back to that point that I was talking about that it's not that easy to flip a switch. Do you understand? Because that switch is on for Silas. And then, so they don't necessarily think about it, and it's a bug because it's part of the whole thing. It's like, okay, let's just flip the Silas switch, you know what I mean? Because when it's played, it ends up on their side of the board. All right, yeah, we'll just go there and then go into the program, and then where's the Silas switch? There is none. Okay, write in the code now that whenever Silas is played and it remains on your side of the board, if it's not on the other one, we do that. Okay, so they put that code in there. And then all of a sudden now something else works, like if, like something else breaks. It's just weird. Programming is weird. Computers, we always talk about it. We say they have ghosts in them. They literally are like, there's ghosts in the machine, which is...
Yeah, I have friends who do computer science in college, so they're studying, and they'll be doing a whole project. One thing won't be working. They're like, okay, I'll just go in and fix this. And they'll like talk me through it, like how it works. I don't actually understand coding that well, but like I have 2 close friends that do it, and I'll watch them. I'll be like, watch, I'll make this one change and everything will start working. And then they do it, and then like everything just crashes. And my friend starts freaking out. He's like, what just happened? There was so much more wrong with this than I thought it was. I'm sitting there laughing. And he's like, dude, this is like 20% of my grade, and it just exploded in my face.
Exactly. It's exactly.
And then my other friend walks in, and it's like, oh, it's because this. You just flip the sign, and everything will work. This one thing after like hundreds of lines of this. He's like, flip that one sign, and it'll work. And then it worked. It's like such little changes can like destroy it or completely fix it. I don't know. Coding's weird.
Yeah, it is. Weird. It is weird, and it's not as simple as those things. There are no switches. To touch on that, I was talking to a guy, and he was a programmer, and he worked for like a really big company, and he was saying, he's like, they called me up on New Year's Eve one night, and because the whole entire server was really screwed up, and he said he had been drinking, and he's like, listen, I've been drinking. So they're like, you got to get down here, bro. You got to get. You're the only one that can fix it, right? And he's literally like, he's been chugging. He's like, I can't get down there. I can't drive. I've been drinking. They're like, you know. So he winds up taking a cab down to the thing, and he just walks in the office and he just flips the computer. He just shut the computer off, and then he just restarts it, and it started working again. That was his solution. He's like, all right, gotta go. He was like, it's like, he said like 90% of the time with computers, you could just shut them off and then restart them, and everything's fine again. Like, he's like, yeah, man, I'll get like paid $120,000 a year for that thing, you know? But, there are, yeah, they're like, you know, about the Hearthstone thing, like, you know, like and I want the changes to be made, but I want to say that it's just not as easy as flipping switches. Silas is a perfect example of that, and it just justifies what we always talk about. And anybody that's watching this, I want you to do me a favor. Make sure that you subscribe to Igor's channel. Make sure you subscribe to the VengaDragon channel. And, you know, what we always say is stay hype.